Well, there are so many heartbreaking things happening right now, but there's something that just happened today that should not escape any of our attention. And that has to do with a new directive from the Pentagon. And Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who has now put out a statement saying that reporters can only put out in the press what the Pentagon says that it wants them to print. And that involves not only classified information, of course, but unclassified information. So that means basically no free press. A problem we've had in the last few years is, especially with the Iraq War and so forth, the press was already acting in too many cases like just stenographers. They would just print what was said at the briefings from the Secretary of Defense, which was horrible enough. But now they're being told you can't. If you put out anything other than the prescripted, predetermined information that the Pentagon says that it wants you to put out, then you will lose your press access. So that really means just total government control of press and media. That the people will hear only what the government wants you to hear. Now, why is this particularly dangerous on the subject of war and peace? Well, I'm old enough to remember the Vietnam War. And it was a terrible scam on the American people that was finally revealed through such things as Daniel Ellsberg, the Pentagon Papers, and so forth. Because at that time, you had a press like the Washington Post that was strong enough, powerful enough, and willing to print those things, a Supreme Court that was willing to back that up. It was an America really dedicated to the things on which we purport to stand. And once that happened, the people saw what was really happening in Vietnam. And that's when the war came to an end. Now, this is not only very, very dangerous. It's really interesting because in the first administration of Trump's, he didn't seem that into military stuff. With this term, he sort of discovered the military like a little boy's set of Legos. Oh, I'm going to send them here. I'm going to send them there. I'm going to kill those people in Venezuela. I'm going to send the military into this city or that city. And he also said yesterday that he was sending troops into various cities because he's cutting crimes, right?
But we set ourselves up very well in Chicago, Memphis, New Orleans a little bit. It's sort of like war. I hate to tell you, it's like war. Some of these people are really bad.
So he's saying there's some bad people. I'm not saying there aren't. There's some criminals out there. I'm not saying there aren't. But it's not the American way that the government, he's going to decide who deserves what, live and die. These people, when he says, I've made it safe for crime. Really? Who'd you get rid of? Did they have due process? Where'd they go? Where did all those homeless people go? I live in Washington, D.C. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Those tents aren't here. Yeah, where'd those people go? Where were they sent? No answers. And now yesterday, he actually used the word war. He said, we're planning to go into all these cities. We've got plans. He said, it's like a war. At the same time that Hegseth is saying, oh, by the way, anything being done with the U.S. military, you cannot report to the people and even keep your press access. Dictators do these kinds of things. No rules-based order, no freedom of the press. Just a small group of people doing whatever they want to do. Join with me in one huge hell no. We'll take it from here.